His face is on t-shirts, murals and posters worldwide, but who was the man behind the myth? Che Guevara. A doctor, a dreamer, a rebel who shook the world with his fiery ideals. They called him a hero, a terrorist, a visionary, a villain. But one thing is certain. His revolution never died. Today we dive into the life, the pain, and the undying legacy of Che Guevara. Buckle up because this is a story of rebellion, sacrifice, and a fight that still echoes today. Welcome to Prime Bio. Ernesto Che Guevara wasn't just a man, he was a symbol of defiance. Born in Argentina, he became the heartbeat of revolutions across the globe. From the jungles of Cuba to the mountains of Bolivia, Che's life was a relentless pursuit of justice against capitalism's iron grip. But was he a selfless revolutionary or a ruthless ideologue? In this video we'll uncover the triumphs, the tragedies, and the controversies of a man whose ideas refused to fade, even 50 years after his death. Stick around, hit that subscribe button, and let's unravel the story of Che Guevara. If you love diving into the lives of history's most fascinating figures, hit subscribe and ring the bell for more stories on Prime Bio. Ernesto Rafael Guevara de la Serna was born on June 14, 1928, in Rosario, Argentina, into an upper-middle-class family. The eldest of 5 children, Che grew up in a household buzzing with ideas. His Irish-Argentine heritage gave him a unique lens on the world, and his parents' library of over 3,000 books fed his insatiable curiosity. By his teens, Che had read everything from Pablo Neruda's poetry to Karl Marx's manifestos. But it wasn't just books that shaped him. Che suffered from severe asthma from childhood, yet he defied his condition to become a stellar athlete, a swimmer, cyclist, and even a national-level rugby player. At 12, he learned chess from his father, mastering it with the same intensity he'd later bring to revolution. His intellectual hunger led him to enroll in the University of Buenos Aires in 1948 to study medicine. But Che wasn't content with textbooks. He wanted to see the world, and at 23, he embarked on a life-changing journey that would ignite the revolutionary spark within him. In 1951, Che and his friend Alberto Granado set off on an 8,000-mile motorcycle journey across Latin America. Riding a beat-up bike called La Poderosa, they crossed Argentina, Chile, Peru, and beyond. What Che saw broke his heart and reshaped his soul. He witnessed farmers toiling under brutal conditions, children starving on the streets, and indigenous communities crushed by the weight of capitalism. These weren't just statistics to Che, they were human lives exploited by a system that favored the rich. He kept a diary, scribbling his thoughts as he went, later published as the Motorcycle Diaries, a New York Times bestseller. This journey wasn't just a road trip, it was the birth of a revolutionary. Che returned with a burning hatred for the capitalist systems he believed were strangling Latin America. His mission was clear, the world needed to change and he would fight to make it happen. In 1953, Che arrived in Guatemala, where President Jacobo Arbenz was pushing progressive reforms to uplift the poor. But the United States, protecting capitalist interests, saw Arbenz as a threat. Backed by the CIA, they orchestrated a coup in 1954, toppling Arbenz and installing a military dictatorship. Che was furious. He saw the U.S. as a global bully, propping up puppet governments to exploit Latin America. In Guatemala, he joined rebel groups fighting the new regime, earning the nickname Che, an Argentine slang word meaning buddy. But the rebellion failed and Che fled to Mexico, his resolve stronger than ever. This wasn't just a defeat, it was a lesson. Che realized that change wouldn't come through protests alone. It would require armed struggle, strategy, and sacrifice. In Mexico, Che met Fidel Castro, a fiery Cuban lawyer plotting to overthrow Cuba's US-backed dictator, Fulgencio Batista. Batista's regime was corrupt, leaving Cubans in poverty while American companies profited. Fidel saw Che's passion and intellect, making him a key member of the 26th of July movement. In 1956, Che, Fidel, and 82 rebels sailed to Cuba on a rickety yacht, the Granma. Their landing was a disaster. Ambushed by Batista's army, most were killed or captured. Che and Fidel escaped to the Sierra Maestra Mountains where they rebuilt their forces. Che wasn't just a fighter, he was a doctor, a strategist, and a teacher. He trained rebels in guerrilla warfare, built schools and clinics, and even started a newspaper to spread their message. compromise. His agrarian reforms nationalized industries, seizing American assets and angering the U.S. This led to the Bay of Pigs invasion in 1961, a failed CIA-backed attempt to overthrow Castro. Che's defiance grew, and he openly criticized U.S. foreign policy at the United Nations, cementing his status as a global rebel. By 1965, Che felt Cuba's revolution was secure, but his mission wasn't over. He left Cuba to spark revolutions elsewhere, starting in the Congo. There he joined rebels fighting a civil war, but their lack of training and strategy led to failure. Che fled, disillusioned but undeterred. In 1966 he arrived in Bolivia, leading a small guerrilla group in the Santa Cruz region. For a moment they had success, but Bolivia's army, backed by the CIA, was relentless. On October 7, 1967, a local betrayed Che's location. Surrounded by 1,800 soldiers, Che was captured. The next day, in a small schoolhouse, he faced his final moments. As the executioner Mario Terán hesitated, Che reportedly said, "Shoot, coward. You're only going to kill a man." 9 bullets ended his life. His body was displayed, his hands cut off for identification, but his ideas lived on. Che Guevara died at 39, but his legacy is immortal. In 1997, his remains were returned to Cuba, honored with a hero's burial. In 2008, a statue was erected in his hometown of Rosario. Today, Che is a global icon, a symbol of rebellion, plastered on everything from shirts to flags. To some, he's a hero who fought for the poor. To others, a terrorist who spread fear. The truth lies in the gray. Che was a man of contradictions, a doctor who healed, a soldier who killed, a dreamer who demanded perfection. His life reminds us that revolutions come at a cost, and heroes are never flawless. What do you think? Was Che a visionary or a villain? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation alive. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Che Guevara's life. If you enjoyed this story, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and subscribe to Prime Bio for more gripping tales of history's biggest names. Hit that bell so you never miss a video, and let us know in the comments who you'd like us to cover next. Until then, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one.